Good morning. It's Vijay here. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. It's a time of festivities, so there's a lot of joy in the markets. Also, I expect will give joy in the next few days. But one has to be prepared for large amount of volatility because the volumes are going to be low, and with low volumes, you will have a lot of positioning, especially for the end of the calendar year. Not only in India, globally too, so you will have volatility, which is a very typical December phenomena. But if you want to choose stocks, if somebody wants to choose stocks to buy, this could be an interesting time. We continue to buy on decline. We continue to generate some funds and buy because very, very hopeful that 2026, at least till budget, it will be very good for Indian markets, let alone what happens in the global markets. With the RBI bazooka coming on Monday, sorry, on was it on Tuesday? Yeah, sorry, just on Christmas Eve. I think that is the real Santa. Most people have not understood it, but over a period of time, I think the liquidity will leak into the markets, and that should hold in good stead. However, on that day, the market failed to hold higher levels. It ended near days lows. Most people, were in a holiday mood. Volumes were low at 80,000 crores. Typical volumes are 1 lakh crores. So I think you'll get that 1 lakh crore volume only in first week of January. Nifty Bank also came down, Sensex came down, all the indices came down. So there's nothing to cheer about just before the Santa Claus day. But as I keep repeating that one should buy on decline, and that was a good day to get declines. We may still get many declines in the between now and 31st, that is still Wednesday. So I'm prepared to buy on decline, looking forward to interesting stocks. As I mentioned some time ago, we bought Coal India. We bought Coal India again on previous day. Today also, I'm planning to buy Coal India. That will be our stock for this month. Then what happened? There were a lot of big deals. VIP deal. There was a big block deal, so there was a lot of volume there. Then Coforge extended losses about 7%. It fell. Ajanta Pharma gained 2% because they're tied up with Biocon, and Manappuram Finance went up 7% because of the gold price rising. Today, the precious metals look very interesting. We were closed. China was up. So if you look at global silver market is about 74%. Sorry, $74. So there is a lot of fear actually. They're not euphoria. People talk of euphoria. In fact, one of the biggest fund managers interview I saw, and he talked of silver being in euphoric state, and you should sell off silver, which I, as a contrarian, have a different opinion, which I will share over the weekend as to why my opinion is different. Why it's a contrarian bet. If you look for contrarian bet for 2026, it is silver and not just any equities. He says, of course, he's very successful. They manage 11 lakh crores. So whatever he says will have an impact. So it is quite possible that today and a few days silver will be under pressure in Indian markets at least, because there is a difference between what happens in India and what happens globally. So that discount which is now there in Indian ETFs may increase because of such opinions, and coming from a very respected contrarian managing 11 lakh crores. So the effect of RBI, this Santa giving was the 10-year yield collapsed from 6.70 to 6.53. That is what will happen when you start QE. Though people are arguing it is not QE. Anyway, end result is the money is coming into the system through RBI buying 2 lakh crores spread over 1 month. Rupee also was not weak. Normally, when you do QE, the underlying currency will be weak, but rupee is still at 89.78, far away from the 91 and odd which we saw recently, and a lot of panic that time. What else can I say? What about today's markets? Today's markets, as I said, will be volatile, but will be a time to bargain hunt. FIS sold about 1,700 crores day for yesterday. That was on Wednesday. DIS bought about 2,381 crores. So the gap is narrowing, which is good, because that means the third force is inactive. Probably they're gone on holidays. Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P did very well. I think S&P hit an all-time high. Dow Jones has come very close to an all-time high. Nasdaq is about a few percentage points away from the all-time high. European markets did nothing. Brent crude is holding steady at above 62 because of the Venezuela problem. I feel there will be no problem. I don't think when Brent crude will go above $65 because Trump doesn't want the WTI to go higher. So WTI is about 58. I expect WTI to come to 50 and Brent crude to invariably settle down to 55. As I mentioned about gold and silver continue to do well. Copper also is doing well. Now people are saying, first they said silver is the new gold. Now they're saying copper is the new silver. We hold copper, silver, zinc, gold, all the precious metals plus base metals we hold. And we are very bullish on that. There is some unnerving news on IndusInd Bank. They got a letter from serious fraud investigation on some information which they do, which they have found, which is detrimental to the financials of the bank. So today L&T could be in focus because they got an order from Mumbai Metro anywhere between 1,000 to 2,500 crores. We hold L&T. We are very bullish on L&T, and we are also bullish on KEC. So I think, it should do well today because of the large order. Adani Enterprises should do well because they have now commenced operations in the commercial operations in the new airport, Navi Mumbai Airport. What else? Vikram Engineering has got a large order from NTPC Renewable Energy for EPC works, what 459 crores. We don't track that, but that may be there, interesting. And IndusInd Bank on the negative side. There is another interesting piece of data which I leave before I close. This is a Motilal Oswal study which talked about as many as 55% of the companies who raised funds through QIPs, they are trading below the issue price. So the QIPs are bought by the mutual funds. That is what I've been arguing. Mutual funds have been expending retail money very irresponsibly, and they have been buying from the promoters, the QIPs, and so 55% of the QIPs are underwater as far as the investment is concerned. Same thing is happening in the IPOs and FPOs, which the mutual funds are grabbing, which is what is very concerning. That will be the cause for the next bear market. I'm very sure about it. Mutual funds extravagance, and I don't know whether there is corruption involved, but certainly it is irresponsible. Now on Saturday, I think is it 28th? On 28th is Dhirubhai Ambani's birthday. So there may be some interesting developments in Reliance on that day. Incidentally, Reliance has got a special permission from US to continue to buy oil from Russia. So we are bullish on Reliance as a trading bet. So we buy on decline. Intraday also we buy. And for short-term trading also, we buy Reliance regularly, but not as a long-term proposition. So Gift Nifty supposed to is indicating about 32 points lower. So that should give us some benefit of hoping to buy on at lower levels. So we are bullish. We continue to be bullish, but we are also aware that there will be volatility. So whatever you do today, I hope it is successful. Thank you for joining me.